Hey, welcome to Watchmen Waiting on the Lord. Today's video is about Revelation 13. I'm going to read it and tell you what I believe. And it's happening. But I just wanted to say some things first. Good, my thing stopped there for a second. Okay. I wanted to speak about one thing before I say that. It's just short. And before I get to that, I just wanted to say there's no better time than right now to open a Bible and to start reading. And when you hear news, I watch the news. I don't watch a lot of it, but I pay attention to what's going on because of the craziness that's happening. And I heard that the Russians, they shot with an anti-tank missile a Western tank, which was a German Leopard 2 tank. And when they bailed out, and I don't know if they all bailed out, but one of them was still alive, and as they came to try to capture the tank, I don't know, maybe they'd take the shells of the tanks, I don't know, it's a weapon that they can investigate and stuff. But the person, I guess there was the driver, was speaking in German. Anyways, it turned out to be a German tank crew. I don't know, believe they were using their uniforms, and that's where we are right now. So I heard it across one news channel, another news channel, and then you don't know, really, we're living in a time of deception, but I'm quite sure that one is true because of the types of news stations that I was listening to. And so would that not be an active war? Putin's got like 3,000 nuclear personnel all set in place. So what I'm saying to you is, like, all these things are set in place. I'm surprised that they haven't done something much further. Looks like the West is just pushing and pushing and pushing. Again, I'm not taking sides, and I know what's behind it all. I know who started it all. So that's quite scary. And so if you don't know God and you're listening to me, and you don't know what to do, like I'm telling you, this is what you should do. If you don't think you have a love for God, for Jesus Christ, for the Word, for the Holy Spirit, and for God the Father, open up a Bible and just start reading. I recommend you go with the New Testament first, but I mean, it's good to know them both because it's just a continuous story. And obviously there's a better covenant with the New Testament. It's just a new covenant, an everlasting one, free of sins. So and if you are in that spot and you're having trouble with trying to understand God, try to walk into it, into Scripture with faith. Don't walk in with bias. Walk in with faith. Open up that. Pray to God, please let me know the real truth, and start reading. And if you're worried about other people, and you're worried about groups who are wrong and this and that, then just read it yourself. Just look things up yourself, and you'll find the truth yourself. So what did I want? I wanted to speak about sleep paralysis before I got to Revelation 13. I believe they say 5 to 10% of the population gets sleep paralysis at some point, and some people have it a lot more than others. I was getting it horribly. Like, it started like 3.5 or 4 years ago, and then I had it episodically, and then it became like almost every night, or almost every second night. And as I was reading the Bible and stuff, it was coming on stronger. And I was still doing worldly things. Like I was still, and before I get to that, I'm just gonna say so people get it. There was a study done. I heard this on a Christian video, and I looked at the study. I forget. I have to look it up again, but you can look it up. It was the largest study ever done for sleep paralysis, and because a lot of people get that, and they consider it a sleep disorder. It's not a sleep disorder. Yes, you get caught in REM sleep. That's what it appears, but what happens is different. Can you imagine that there's people who claim to have, been abducted by aliens? There's a lot of stories you hear and you think are crazy, but you have to wonder if they're true. And there can be quite a difference. You have one person, you have another person. You have a really sensitive person. You have I guess it doesn't matter, but I'm just making a point. You have two different people. One person gets the sleep paralysis episode, say they're being smothered. I think 4 different things can happen in a sleep paralysis episode, and it's uniform across the world. It doesn't matter if you're on an island and these people have never made contact with you. I guarantee you it's uniform. Every culture has it. So you're smothered, you're floating, you're being sexually abused, and I forget the other one. And so one person might wake up and think like, holy cow, that was bad. And the first time I got it, I thought, there's a hell. There really is a hell. When I had my first one, that's what I thought. I mostly kept it to myself. And but think about it. You might have the other person who might start calling up, who knows? They might end up in a psych ward. They may end up telling UFO stories. That's the difference. They might go out and get a movie made because of it. I believe all these things. They're sleep paralysis episodes. So there's a big study done. All religions. I don't call Christianity a religion though, because Christianity is the truth. I call the other ones religions. The only one in these, I guess, these sleep studies, and they're just studying people, asking them questions, everything, is in what group do these sleep paralysis demons stay away from? And the answer, each and every time, you can do this study over and over and over again, they found that it was a Christian group. Okay? It was a Christian group, no surprise. But it goes further. I don't know how many people are able to do this or have done this. But when I was getting these, I finally started looking them up, and someone in a video said, if you're in one and you can speak, which is very tough, say the name Jesus Christ. Twice I did it. Twice it ended right away. So seemingly aliens are afraid of the word Jesus Christ. Isn't that funny? So anyways, it's true. And what I would say about sleep paralysis is this. I'm sure not in all cases they disappear if you do this, but for the most part, yes. Stop lusting after things. Stop lusting. Control yourself. Don't look at porn. Don't, if you can, if you're a man, if you're a woman, don't go out and try to, you see a pretty woman, you see an attractive man, don't go out and when you see them, just try not to take second and third looks. I'm being serious. That way I find, for me, I stay out of trouble. That's how I stay out of trouble. And it's no different with money. It's no different with cars and houses. and being jealous and covetous. If you can stop those things, then it's just it's a good suggestion, and I know that is the answer. Pardon me a second, I'm just going to take a little break here with my voice. I'm going to take a sip of water, and I'm going to read Revelations 13. Just give me a sec. You may not share my beliefs, but this is what I believe. I believe the papacy, the Roman Empire papacy, is the beast. That's what I believe. I believe they're the Antichrist system. That's my belief. So I'm going to read this to you. It's hard not to look back in history and see that they killed 50 to 70 million people in the name of religion. Like a lot of people. They killed a lot of people, and they fit the description. The beast from the sea. So this is a New King James Version. I prefer to read this. The New King James Version. Then I stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rising up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And on his horns 10 crowns, and on his heads a blasphemous name. Now the beast which I saw was like a leopard. His feet were like the feet of a bear, and his mouth like the mouth of a lion. Okay, so just telling you here that the beast rising up out of the sea is out of a populated area. The sea is Rome. 7 heads are 7 hills on where Rome is, and the 10 horns refer back to Daniel 7. They were the what the failing Roman Empire ended up as, 10 states, and 3 of them were plucked up. Go back to Daniel 7. 3 of them were plucked up. I forget the names of them, and it left 7. Now the beast which I saw was like a leopard. His feet were like the feet of a bear, and his mouth like the mouth of a lion. The dragon gave him his power, his throne, and great authority. And I saw one of his heads as if it had been mortally wounded, and his deadly wound was healed. I saw one as if it had been mortally wounded means in 1798, General Berthier, Napoleon's general, had enough of taking orders from the papacy, and they arrested the Pope, and the Pope ended up dying, and that, I believe, was the mortal wound. And his deadly wound was healed, and all the world marveled at the beast. Why was it healed? Because of America, you'll see. Because of the rise of America. So they worshipped the dragon and gave authority to the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, who is like the beast? Who's able to make war with him? And he was giving it a mouth, speaking great things and blasphemies. And he was given authority to continue for 42 months. Then he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name, his tabernacle, and those who dwell in heaven. It was granted with him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And authority was given to over every tribe, tongue, and nation. All who dwell on the earth will worship him, whose names have not been written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. So It was given authority to continue for 42 months. I think it's the Hebrew calendar is 30 days, okay? Not the Gregorian calendar. So you go back, it's the Hebrew calendar. And I forget how you calculate this. It's 42 months. 42 months times 30 equals 1260. And Ezekiel says specifically that a day in prophecy is equal to a year. 1260 years. 1260 years, the saints continue for 42 months. Was given authority to continue for 42 months. And that was from, I believe, 538 until 1798, when that pope was arrested and died. That was exactly 1260 years. It was granted, and that was when the Rome's power in 538 officially became official, like they were powered. 538 to 1798, 1260 years. All who dwell on the earth will worship him, whose names have not been written in the book of life, the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. If anyone has an ear, let him hear. He who leads into captivity goes into captivity. He who kills with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and faith of the saints. A lot of people died, man. The beast from the earth. Now, a lot of people don't think America's in prophecy, and I just don't believe that at all. And before I read on, do you know this? That Washington, D.C., go look it up. The original name, before it became Washington, D.C., what do you think it is? Rome. Not only that, but I think where the Capitol building sits right now was owned, like the property or something like that, by a man named Francis Pope. Francis Pope, and his nickname was Francis on the Tiber. The Tiber is where the Vatican is on. Sorry, I have difficulty speaking. The beast from the earth. Then I saw another beast coming out of the earth. What does the earth mean? So it's not a populated area, and the United States at that time was not a populated area. We're talking around the 1800s, the very early 1800s. And he had two horns like a lamb and spoke like a dragon. So it's speaking like a dragon, but it appears like a lamb. I believe that's the US. And he exercises all the authority of the first beast in his presence, and causes the earth and those who dwell in it to worship the first beast. It's like the second Rome, whose deadly wound was healed. You can look at all the buildings from Rome and Washington. They're the same. He performs great signs so that he even makes fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And he deceives those who dwell on the earth by those signs which he granted to do in the sight of the beast, telling those who dwell on the earth to make an image to the beast who was wounded by the sword and lived. And I just believe that's a correlation. I don't think it's like a real image. I think it's just a correlation of that the United States is an image of papal Rome. He was granted power to breathe to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast to be killed. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on the right hand or on their foreheads, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for as the number of a man. His number is 666. And so I will say, just to finish that off, that let he who has understanding calculate the number of the beast. And I've shared this in a previous video way back, that the seat of the Pope is vicarious Philae Day, and in Roman numerals it adds up to 666. So I don't have to tell you about the papacy, and right now Pope Francis, the Jesuit Pope, they don't speak for God, okay? I think it's quite clear, and if you can't see that, you have to look deeper. You have to look deeper. Why aren't they speaking out about all the things that are happening? Instead, you have the Pope going behind the scenes, trying to push a climate agenda, completely spiritually blind on, but I don't know if it's on purpose or not, but it's not good. And I always thought, what's the chances of it seems everything revolves around the United States, this world does. How could they not be in Bible prophecy? And I believe they are. My beliefs may be different from you, but I have studied prophecy, so anyways, it's my wish that no matter what you believe in, I mean in like Christian side of things, and Muslim brothers, I'm just saying that to people who love God, turn to Jesus Christ, because He is the only way, He's the only truth, and the only life. He is life. He is the way. Thanks for watching this video.